swing. We'll use Tiger because he's so freaking awesome. The normal things going back, good shoulder turn, beautiful shoulder turn. It keeps his body in. Real nice transition into a squat. Okay. I want you to watch his right arm here. See how he has his right arm cocked at 90 degrees. The forearm is 90 degrees from the upper arm. He's going to hold that deep into the swing. Now it's starting to release. And now it has released. Not completely, but I mean, this is obviously no longer 90 degrees. His forearm is no longer 90 degrees from his upper arm. Also notice his hand here. There's no air gap in the middle portion of his grip under the heel of his right hand. The three positions I'm looking for are marked in those white lines. Here, the forearm is still pretty close to 90 degrees from the upper arm. The shaft is pretty much 90 degrees from the left arm, and the club head is still very high above the hands. The next position, where the shaft is parallel to the ground, I don't find useful in trying to execute it. It is useful for a teacher to see, but I don't find it useful when we actually get down to trying to do this. Of course, the next position, coming into the impact zone, the shaft is leaning forward, the hand's leading it, and the bowed left wrist. How does he get that? And I think he gets it back earlier in the swing. He sets it up. We'll get to that. Now, the interesting thing, one of the interesting things is after impact, the right hand doesn't cover the left until well past impact. And then coming up and out, the chicken wing, I don't know if you're still plagued by that or not. I want you to watch his post up, and then he clears that hip. Now with the post up here, he's got his leg bent, he posts up, and this left hip goes away from the target line pretty violently. Everything's smooth in the golf swing except for that one move, and that can be quite violent. With his knee problems, of course, he wants to smooth that out. But when I do that, and that hip moves hard away from the target line, back away from the target line, I get this nice extension. It gives my left arm someplace to go, and I pop right up onto my toe. So these are the three positions. I want to bring up somebody else for a second. Okay, this is Aaron Badley. I want you to look at some things with his hands and the club. When he comes to here, you see the little cup in his wrist? When he comes to the top, his club face is a little closed, and he has a little cup in the wrist. Now this is necessary because if he were to flatten that wrist more, that would close the club face. And for some reason, they say that that's really bad to do it there. I'm not quite sure why, but they say if that club face is extremely open or closed, it's trouble. You can get away with a little bit, but in order to do that, you're basically going to have the same wrist position that you had at address, or maybe a little flatter. Now, when he comes down, there. See that bowed left wrist? So somewhere between the top and here, he has bowed the wrist. And I believe that's a lot of it has to do with what the right hand, right forearm is doing. Okay, we'll get to that in the next section where we actually go over the instructions.